It's what we're doing here, and let's not kid about it. We're building a domestic army and we're shrinking the military because the government is afraid of its own citizens. The last time more than 10 terrorists were in the same place at one time was September 11th, and all these vehicles in the world wouldn't have prevented it, nor would it have helped anybody. So I don't know where we're going to use this many vehicles and this many troops. Concord is just one little cog in the wheel. We're building an army over here, and I can't believe that people aren't seeing it. Is everybody blind?
And they can crush us. I mean, you've got Sheila Jackson Lee, who is calling for martial law. That's insane. That's getting rid of the Constitution of the United States. So we've got a government here that seems to be wanting to create the conditions that they want to take our Second Amendment. You know, they're going for the Second Amendment.
The Air Force today fired the two-star general in charge of its nuclear missiles for undisclosed personal misbehavior and a, quote, loss of trust. This is the second firing of a senior commander of our nuclear forces this week. Major General Michael Carey, removed from command of the 20th Air Force. Carey was responsible for 3 wings of intercontinental ballistic missiles, a total of 450 missiles at 3 bases across the country. A Pentagon official was asked whether Carey's dismissal was alcohol-related. He didn't respond directly, but said Carey is not an alcoholic. Our next guest says there is an unprecedented epidemic of bad judgment and self-indulgence concerning military brass. Joining us is Fox News strategic analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters. Great to have you with us. Ralph, I mean, this is stunning. First, 3 stars, now 2 stars.
Yeah, and we've had 4 stars essentially relieved, more 2 stars court-martialed, reduced in rank, put out of the Army. And there is a real problem. Now, Lou, you know history, and there have always been problem generals, but not in this density, this number.
Yeah, pretty much at that time, you're a Second Amendment, all your rights, First Amendment rights, pretty much everything is at that moment just interrupted. Yeah. So you said that martial law suspends their Second Amendment, so I'm not going to, but would you say we would take weapons from people?
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
That's what they do, but
I'm saying.
Yes, I wouldn't agree with that either. I'm just like, I believe the Second Amendment. But
okay.
Essentially, during a moment of martial law, we've lost all control. We're pretty much saying when the military moves in on your street, they are now saying you have no more rights. Pretty much, you're going inside your house. That's like the worst case scenario. So I'm saying when the way they're not looking at it, when the guard is used, that's how it's going to be used.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be out there on the street corner like, hey, unless you're like your assistant was some kind of event, you're not going to be involved in a riot and not really have any.
No, you're not going to go knocking on doors and be like, all right, I need a shotgun here. You're not going to like go up to each house and say.
Well, they did that in Katrina, is why I'm asking. And if we're talking about shit hitting the fan, I'm not going to do it. But
they're not going to do that necessarily. It's more or less like, hey, go in your house, shut up, stay there. That's what we do.
Okay.
Because that reason I have martial law in place is it's one of those situations where, like I said, everything's already broken down. It's a last resort to change pretty much your last ditch efforts to put that in order and do that. That's why they have that power.
Okay.
Good question. I think they did that in Katrina, right? They just want to take 50 people down.
Yeah. Which I think is bullshit, but.
You're going to play your right.
Yeah.
We're going to get political right now.
Happening now in downtown Miami, Black Hawk choppers soaring through the night sky, but this is only a drill. My team's Mike Marza has some pictures for us explaining what's going on. Mike?
Still, if you've seen one of these drills, it really is like a scene out of one of those action movies, choppers stalking the sky of downtown Miami and the like. Let me show you what's happening right in the shadow of the Adrian Arch Center. Police right now have blocked off Biscayne Boulevard. If you take a look, swing back over here. This may be involved in this training or not. Again, let me tell you what all of this is that we know of. It's a joint military training exercise involving local police, also military, as someone shot some video of some of these choppers, military-style choppers, flying over 395 in downtown. This was last night. Holy right, so some blank rounds of gunfire pinging off the high-rises here in downtown Miami.
Damn.
You know, part of this is to demonstrate what the city does so that if it happens in real life, people will have some understanding of what's going to happen. So you got to see a bunch of the pieces of capability through this scenario. Not all of them, but a lot of them. This is something we constantly worry about. The threat is always there. You know, what happens in other regions of the world is important, but I think we have enough of a homegrown issue that all of this needs to be practiced continuously.
Sight of Army helicopters and the sound of gunfire created a lot of concern this afternoon in one Houston neighborhood.
She told me, don't come home because it sounds like we're in a war zone. Guns shooting and helicopters flying around over the house.
The Army, along with other agencies, had taken over the old Carnegie Vanguard High School. There were armed men in fatigues, plenty of weapons, and what many thought were real live rounds.
I felt like I was in a war zone. It just was nonstop. So I was terrified.
Turns out it was a multi-agency training drill. And an Army major who was out here wouldn't tell us exactly what kind of training they were doing. HPD was aware of what was going on, but the fire department apparently wasn't. In fact, an ambulance was even dispatched this way for a shots fired call until HPD told them. Army major who was out here wouldn't tell us exactly what kind of training they were doing.
Military vehicles, and it said military police with face shields, those baton shields and everything else going down Pump Road Station in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know why. They're training for something. Hey, what are you guys training for? For what?
Training for a state mission, sir.
I hear you. Can you tell me what it's for? Okay.
Back up a little bit. Oh, they just not now? How are you today, sir?
Good. I just wondered, I never seen you guys out here. What you training for?
Yeah, we out here. What we're doing is we're part of a big National Guard exercise.
Right. But what I get concerned about is when I know that they have FEMA camps building all over the country, which congressmen deny, and then they're caught on tape admitting that they're doing them. They got military training and in some places even doing like illegal checkpoints just to see that. And what I see, the federal government, Homeland Security, buying over 2 billion rounds of ammo ordered just in the last year, and they're building up big-time military for something, and it's not just for natural disasters. I think personally, I think they know because of the derivative meltdown, they're getting ready for an economic collapse and martial law and everything else.
I can't really say on that, you know.
Here, look, you see? This right here is the starting of the New World Order. And as anybody can see, this is private property. You can see right here, this is where the freeway's at. It's about to take in effect pretty soon. Just want to drive by and show you so you can see how they're about to they're training already, and these guys more likely are not Americans. They're probably foreign troops that are getting ready to invade America.
Like literally, this is like, I don't know, maybe not even a half a mile from my house. So check out all the Hummers, guys. Same color as the building. And then they got a parking lot right here. And this is all artillery vehicles, all sorts of crazy shit. Hummers up the ass. But they're doing all this crap during the middle of the night. It all starts at about, you know, maybe 1:45 to 2 o'clock in the morning, and it goes until about 5 a.m. And then it gets quiet and dies again. It's really suspicious. It's really suspect.
Crazy right here. Look at this shit. All these army trucks, man. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? What they doing, man? What they doing? Something gonna happen? They setting up for something? What the fuck is going on? This shit stretch all the way up. What the fuck is going on, man? What the fuck is going on? This shit crazy, man. They still all the way up there. They still all the way up there. That shit going all the way up. Look at that shit. Shit crazy.
I'm breaking no laws.
All right, you just gonna have to go.
I'm breaking no laws.
I'm trespassing at this time. Yes,
I am not. This is public-owned property,
Sir.
and I am not trespassing.
Sir, look, I'm asking you to leave.
A stockpile of military vehicles were recently discovered occupying a secluded commercial property on the outskirts of Las Vegas, at the address of 5750 Sky Point Drive. It doesn't seem as if the Humvees and other military-grade vehicles are for sale, even though they are stationed at a former car dealership that has been stripped of its business logo and signs. It would appear as if the equipment is deliberately being hidden from the public on this secluded property surrounded by barbed wire fences. One 18-year-old boy named Jonathan, who lives in the area, proclaimed the military has been there for 6 months now. His friends added, "We think it's a secret undercover operation or military base."
Violence is so bad in one major American city that the governor is considering calling in the National Guard. We're going to take a closer look at what that really means. One city may be going to extremes to fight crime. It has gotten so bad in Chicago. You've heard the stories, with police actually having to line the streets to make sure that kids can safely walk to their schools. Illinois Governor Pat Quinn says he is open to the idea of calling in the National Guard, actually putting armed soldiers on the streets of President Obama's hometown. Under Article 1, Section 8, Congress has 3 constitutional grounds for calling up the militia, what we now understand as the National Guard, to execute the laws of the Union, suppress insurrection, and repel invasions. Brad, there are those who argue that's exactly what's happening in Chicago. There's such a gang influx that things are truly out of control there.
Look, these are not enemy combatants. These are criminals. And this is, our soldiers are not, their job is not to take to the streets and fight the American people. That's not their role. The police have the role of maintaining social order and upholding the laws in local jurisdictions, not military troops. So they can answer their own problem by hiring up more cops, by seeking other jurisdictions to come in and augment the police force in Chicago. But certainly troops may be convenient, but it's not the way to go. It is violative of the law.
Cross cover, cross cover. Hold left, go right. Hold left, go right. Hold left, go right.
I'm not going to tell you again. You guys need to leave.
It's from a military perspective, it helps the joint forces, the military forces, do everything we can to better prepare ourselves to support civilian agencies.
There is an incident. It's going to start local. It'll start small, and whoever the first responders are, the people to get there first, whether they're military or law enforcement, it's important that we know what the role of each one of these organizations is.
Pretty impressive, a display of international military might. Thousands of men and women from several different countries all landed on Camp Pendleton's beaches today. It's all part of a multinational exercise called Dawn Blitz.
New at 5, 10 News reporter Joe Little was on the beach during that exercise and reveals why training alongside other countries has become part of the U.S. military's way of life.
Move. Targets.